Yes, indeed. It's the 9th day of September. Being a Saturday, you're just in time for the Legends Edition. We're so glad that you've tuned in because we're broadcasting from Nairobi, Kenya. And top in this bulletin, Kenya Kwanza Alliance affiliate parties under pressure to fold and join the ruling UDA ahead of its elections in December. Over 1,000 people die in Morocco's worst earthquake in a decade. And a big moment for Africa as it becomes the 21st permanent member in the G20 Intergovernmental Forum. Thank you so much for choosing KBC with the Legends Edition for your news update this evening. And our sign language interpreter is Ann Wangeshi. I'm Edmund Mudibo. Pressure is mounting on Kenya Kwanza affiliate parties to fold and join the ruling UDA party ahead of the 2027 elections. This follows President William Ruto's opening of UDA party offices in Nyeri County. UDA lawmakers have challenged the affiliate parties to dissolve and seek positions in UDA in party elections slated for December this year. President Ruto also noted that his coalition was ready to create the office of the leader of opposition to help check the government even as bipartisan talks continue. We have our reporter Oliverson Maina with the details.
President William Ruto on Saturday returned to Nyeri County in central Kenya to open new offices of the ruling UDA party ahead of the grassroots elections in December. It is here that UDA lawmakers rejuvenated calls to the Kenya Kwanza Alliance affiliate parties, including ANC and Ford Kenya, to dissolve and join UDA, saying genuine supporters of the president must now move in one political vehicle ahead of the 2027 general election.
Hakuna mtu atapatiwa kiti kwa meza. Hakuna mtu atapatiwa kiti kwa mapendeleo. Wanachama ndio wataamua pale kwa polling station.
Tunaenda kujenga UDA iwe chama kubwa kabisa. Ikifika 2027 rais, wewe ni kuweka picha yako kwa ballot na unarudi State House unakaa, wewe unapita unaenda asubuhi kabisa.
First party office ya Kenya ya UDA tutakuja hapa Nyeri kufungua. Na tukasema itafunguliwa na president mwenyewe.
Kwa sababu tunataka kuondoa ukabila kabisa katika siasa ya Kenya, kwa kupanga chama ya kitaifa ambayo itaunganisha Wakenya kutoka jamii zote kama wanachama wa chama kimoja.
The only thing that can sustain the continuity of a government is a strong party. Na ndio tunauliza Wakenya wote, wangogo zote za Kenya, to join chama ambayo ni ya kimataifa, chama ya kitaifa cha UDA.
Tunataka kwenda 2027 tukiwa na chama kimoja. Kwa hivyo wale wote wanasema wanakuunga mkono, wakuje waingie kwa chama, tushidane kwa UDA, tukupe timu ya kuendelea.
During Thanksgiving ceremony for Energy Principal Secretary Alex Kamau, President Ruto also renewed his calls to create office of the official leader of opposition to quell political disputes that occur in every election cycle. He, however, reiterated that there will be no power-sharing deal even as bipartisan talks, dubbed National Dialogue Conversation, continue.
Hata nimewaambia kama wanataka tutengeneze ofisi ya kiongozi wa upinzani pale, tuweke hapo loudspeaker kubwa ili akiamuka anatangaza serikali imefanya makosa fulani, serikali haijafanya makosa fulani.
President Ruto also commissioned link roads in Kieni East.
Sasa siku wewe umepata nafasi kuongea na dunia nzima, Kenya imeshika. Rais, tunakupongeza, tunakuambia ukanyambie hapo.
Giverson Minor, Legends Edition.
The death toll from the earthquake in central Morocco now stands at over 1,000 people. More than 672 others are nursing injuries, according to Moroccan state media. The earthquake in Marrakech city has been termed as the strongest in a century, with a magnitude of 6.8 on the Richter scale. Rescue operations for persons trapped under the rubble are still underway as the world leaders pledge support for those affected.
The strong earthquake that has killed hundreds, according to Moroccan state media, struck Morocco's High Atlas mountain around 11 minutes past 10 Friday night. The earthquake caused great casualties and damage of property in the historic Marrakech city and several areas to the south. Hundreds of city residents, including tourists, who were forced to flee their apartments in sheer panic after the 6.8 magnitude quake, spent the night in the cold for fear of an aftershock. The core of the earthquake was the Al Houza region in southwest Morocco. The Interior Ministry said the earthquake killed people in the provinces and municipalities of Al Houza, Marrakech, Ouarzazate, Azilal, Chichao and Toradant, adding that at least over 672 people have been injured. Many of the victims are believed to be in remote areas. According to state media, affected residents reported having felt the violent tremor. Piles of rubble of damaged buildings are left in the street of Marrakech after the disaster. Various leaders across the globe have extended their condolences to the families and relatives of the victims and offered to help in relief efforts. The death toll is expected to rise as rescue efforts continue for those still trapped under the rubble. Marrakech is popular with tourists, attracting thousands each year. Kamchemenza for the Legends Edition.
President William Ruto has welcomed the addition of the African Union to the G20 Intergovernmental Forum, saying the move will boost Africa's standing globally. The African Union has formally taken its seat as a new member of the G20 during the ongoing G20 summit in India's capital, New Delhi. Tililio Marco reports.
Various African leaders continue to react to the move by the G20 to admit African Union as a permanent member. Through his X, formerly known as Twitter account, President William Ruto said, and I quote, "Kenya welcomes the addition of the African Union, the fastest growing continent in the world, to the G20. This will increase the voice of Africa, visibility and influence on the global stage and provide a platform to advance the common interests of our people. This fits perfectly with the resolutions of the just concluded Africa Climate Summit, including the reform of international financial institutions and multilateral development banks." End of quote. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi welcomed the current AU chair, the President of Comoros Azali Assoumani, with a hug at the G20 summit, saying he was elated. The previous AU chair, Senegalese President Macky Sall, saluted the African continent, and I quote, "Congratulations to all Africa." End of quote. The two-day summit that is being held for the first time in South Asia is expected to discuss, among others, climate change, food security, and debt restructuring for poorer countries. Tilio Marco for Legends Edition.
The Ministry of Roads and Transport requires more than 700 billion shillings for the completion of roads that were started during the previous regime. Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport Kipchumba Murkomen says the government will not rest until the roads are completed and that no contractor will leave the site before the completion.
Na mimi nataka kusema kama Wizara ya Barabara na Uchukuzi tumechukua jukumu kuhakikisha kwamba tunaongea na makontrakta wetu tunachukua pesa yenye tunapewa hata kama ni kidogo, tunataka kuhakikisha pesa hizo zimesaidia wananchi, kuhakikisha ya kwamba contractor wamekaa kwa site. Na mimi nataka niwahakikishie wananchi wote wa Bomet, katika barabara zenu zenye mmesema tunatengeneza hii junction kutoka hapa kwenda Longisa pamoja na hii barabara kutoka hapa mpaka Kiokong, na tunahakikisha kwamba barabara imemalizika chini ya mwezi 8 yenye iko mbele yetu.
Mental health advocates are calling on the government to decriminalize cases of attempted suicide. On the eve of the World Suicide Prevention Day, the advocates who held a meeting at Kibra in Nairobi believe that people who try to take their own lives need care and medical attention rather than societal stigma and prosecution.
Charity Muturi, a mental health champion, has lived with suicidal thoughts for 24 years. Charity has battled with low self-esteem from the age of 14.
As a child, I had low self-esteem issues. By 12, I was feeling very worthless and hopeless. By 14, I started having suicidal thoughts. But I could not talk about it because it is religiously wrong. And my father is a religious leader.
Felix Kokonya has equally had suicidal ideation. Felix lived a life of crime and addiction for 25 years.
Nikaona ni kama maisha yangu haina dhamana because wazazi wamenikataa. The community too pia ilikuwa imenikataa. So nilikuwa nimejipata mahali naishi kwa dump site na machokora pale mahali inaitwa 42 kwa reli. So nikiwa pale ndio nilikuja kujifikiria, nafahamu ikanikujia ya kwamba I'm good for nothing.
Befriend Us Kenya, an organization that offers support for persons suffering from depression, says 80% of those who seek help have suicidal thoughts, while 20% have tried to take their own lives.
As a country, we do not have statistics, but as an organization, we usually have annual reports where basically we try to find out the number of people contacting us in a year.
Nationally, data on suicide cases is scanty, and mental health advocates are recommending a countrywide mental health survey. They are also calling for decriminalization of suicide attempt cases. They expressed their sentiments during a peer counseling session at the Salvation Army Church, Kibra constituency in Nairobi.
World Health Organization and the United Nations has called upon all countries globally to decriminalize suicide by 2030 because it has been found that the countries that have criminalized suicide attempt have higher rates of suicide because people fear to speak.
Doreen Arange for Legends Edition.
A man from Nakuru County has cycled for 719 kilometers from Nakuru to Malindi in Kilifi County in an effort to raise awareness on mental health challenges in the country. Robert Ndegwa is excited about completing the 2-week journey without major challenges and is hopeful he has impacted many.
It's an exhilarating feeling as Robert Ndegwa approaches the finish line in Malindi, Kilifi County, accompanied by other cyclists from Mombasa and Malindi.
Kitu ya kwanza ni ati na furaha sana nimefika Malindi. Unajua wengine walidhani ni ndoto. Kuna wale walifikiria ni ndoto. Ati Malindi hatutafika. Wengine wakafikiria tutaabiri magari barabarani tufike Malindi.
A fortnight ago, Robert began cycling from Nakuru County to Malindi. He carried with him a small bag containing his food, a thermos for his tea, and other essentials, including a tent. Normally, he would ride from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. with the noble goal of raising awareness on mental health issues.
Msukumo umetokana na matukio ambayo tunayaona kila siku. Na tunaona mambo yanavyojitokeza huku nchini, unapata watu kujiua, unapata familia kuachana, bibi na bwana wamewachana, watoto ndio wameingilia mihadarati. Kwa hivyo hicho ndio kilinisukuma haswa kuanza kampeni hii ambayo inatokana na ya mental health ambayo imenifikisha hapa Malindi.
Initially, he had intended to cycle for 880 kilometers, but was unable to cycle through Savu due to wild animals. He therefore covered 719 kilometers, and within 14 days, he was in Malindi.
Nimekuja nikizungumza na watu tangia nilipoanza, na watu wamenisikiza haswa sana, na wamekuwa wakisema ya kwamba wanahitaji zaidi na wanataka pia hii conversation iendelezwe.
His motivation is mental health cases which have become common even in his family.
Jambo ambalo limenisukuma kwa zaidi ni watu wa familia wa karibu, wale ambao nimeona wakipotelea kwa sababu ya madawa ya kulevya, na ni watu ambao niliona katika familia, watu ambao walikuwa na future, lakini kwa saa hii ukiwaangalia hawapo. Wengine wamefariki, tumewazika, hayuko. Wengine pia unapata walifanya mambo, wako pale kwa jela, wamefungwa, kwa hivyo hataona nje huku nje.
Robert and other cyclists now hope more funding will be directed towards helping spread awareness on mental health issues.
The long term goal ni hii kitu ikuwe devolved kwa hizi kaunti zote, kwa waendeshaji baiskeli pia waingilie campaigns kama hizi na tuweze kusaidiana mahali tutasaidiana. Najua wanafanya zingine, lakini pengine hii pia wanaweza wakaichukua wakaiadapt kuwa kwao.
Bora sana pia kuwa unajihusisha na jambo lolote ambalo linasaidia mwili wako kujiweka sawa kiafya, kama kuna mazoezi ya aina tofauti.
If you don't stop mental health, the consequences zake ndio inakuwa nyingi zaidi. Suicide, watu wanafanya uhalifu, mambo ya ugaidi.
Sawa
Well, let me look at my chronometer, and left, right, it's time for our fast break. But don't go away, plenty more on the other side.
Asanti na karibu kwa matangazo haya ya leo. Kuanzia Jumatatu ifuatayo.
Waza padhe bana, jo kumekuwa na operation hapo hivi, Manguru amekuwa na operation hapo Riamba Tai, lakini si nimefimbitika bana. Tuache niwapeleke na Riamba Tai kwanza, si ndio? Oya. Mimi unaweza nitakatelo ama unaweza nitakwako mbongini ya kibu.
Wait, nitakuwa you can do what? Kwa you were there you can do what that impact aja tu nitambambize. Guys, iko hivi. Kila Jumatatu tupatane KBC Channel 1 for the chipukizi, so itakuwa safi, so ya nguvu.
Umuri mko related ama naweza mtoka tenje. Naweza cheza kama mimi, si ndio?
Nipukujia huyu.
Kwanza, si ndio?
We've noted that in Kenya, cervical cancer is the second, or let me say it's the second commonest cancer among women.
I gave my consent, and my daughter got the vaccine. Since she got the vaccine, she's leading a normal life, just like any other child. I'm not seeing anything unique, anything that has changed in her.
She's not gotten a burst of hair growing from
No, nothing unique.
And that the government has now rolled an initiative for girls from the age of 9 to 14 to get it for free.
Especially from the slums. Then wakikuja huku kwingine.
Wamama tupelekeni watoto, si kwa manyumba lakini kwa hospitali, ndio tukaweze kujua zaidi.
It's been a sad day for the media fraternity because we lost veteran producer Kibwana Onguso as well as Sean Kadoveles. Veteran producer Kibwana Onguso has passed on. The former producer at the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, KBC, died at his Lucky Summer home early today. He passed on at the age of 59 years, having had a successful career in the media industry where he produced popular programs such as Tausi, Nyundo Utosini, Tahamaki, and Kisulisuli, among others.
My intention in making any character or building the character is to see the passion that you get from the character.
The Sun has said on veteran television producer Kibwana Onguso. According to his son, Onguso passed on at his home before doctors confirmed his demise around 11 a.m. today. At 59, the late producer had a successful career in the media industry. Among the programs he produced are Tausi, Nyundo Tusini, Zahamaki, Kisulisuli, Mahoka, Papa Shirandula and Inspector Mwala, among others. After leaving the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation in the early 2000s, Onguso worked at Citizen TV, K24 and Maisha Magic before going into independent production. Those who have interacted and worked with the late Onguso say that his professionalism stood out and a man who mentored many TV producers.
He was a soft-spoken individual, but with his softness, he was able to excel and demonstrate great command as a great producer.
Kibwana is my mentor. Everything I know about production, every program that I've produced is courtesy of Kibwana.
In our class, Kibwana was the father of drama in this country. He moved audiences on television.
At Broadcasting House, we send our heartfelt condolences to the family of the veteran producer.
For Kibwana to just go and announce leaves us restless and lost. We don't know. Life is so short.
May his soul rest in eternal peace. Isufar reporting for the Legends edition.
Indeed, may Kibwana Onguso's soul rest in eternal peace. Kenya Medical Research Institute, KEMRI, is now rooting for the promotion and use of locally manufactured medical products instead of over-reliance on imports. KEMRI Acting Director General Elijah Maritim Songok regrets that 80 pharmaceuticals are imported, thus denying locally made drugs dominance in the market. This and more stories in the County News segment.
Speaking at the Mombasa ACK show, Kenya Medical Research Institute Acting Director General Elijah Maritim Sangok urged the government to regulate the importation of medical products and instead promote locally manufactured products and drive sustainability.
If we are making these innovations, we are making these products, then things are being imported also from another country outside. It's going to disillusion our researchers, our innovators, our industries. So we need a protection.
Still in Mombasa County, the National Authority for the Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse is concerned by the use of veterinary drugs to boost euphoria from heroin use by a section of drug addicts at the coast. According to NACADA Acting Chief Executive Officer Professor John Muteti, 20 samples were collected from drug users in Mombasa, Kwale and Kilifi counties and handed over to the government chemist for analysis and identification.
There is urgent use to institute measures to regulate and control the diversion of such drugs into the illegal market. This includes a strong consideration for scheduling of xylazine and other veterinary drugs prone to abuse to avert such instances. The scientific inquiry into emerging trends and drugs in the country does not stop with this revelation.
Elsewhere, the Ministry of Health has rolled out grassroots strategy that seek to end HIV/AIDS in children by 2027. The plan will focus on the triple testing algorithm, provision of ARVs and prevention care. Nurses will continue to play a critical role in the testing of expectant mothers despite earlier resistance from accredited counselors. Statistics indicate that at least 4,000 children are infected with HIV in Kenya annually.
This journey to end AIDS in children requires the active participation of all stakeholders. And to achieve our goal, we must embrace new thinking and innovation.
And a section of survivors of the 1998 terrorist attack at the American Embassy in Nairobi, who are based in Machakos County, are crying foul, accusing the U.S. government of delaying compensation. They are appealing for intervention through their senator.
Kindly walk the talk. And actually, we are good friends. Kenyan government, is good friends with the American government. And we don't want that friendship to become so, simply because our people are suffering.
In Laikipia, farmers from Githiga Ward have been forced to spend sleepless nights outside their farms as they keep vigil to prevent further crop destruction by monkeys and elephants.
KWS, ndovu ni lazima watuondolee ziache kukula chakula ya watu wetu. Pia ni lazima watuondolee tumbiri na hatutaki kujua pali watazipeleka. Hizo sasa ndizo zimekuwa zinavuna mahindi yetu na watu wetu wanakosa chakula.
And in Kiambu County, residents of Gadhiga, Kiboko and Jadhaini in Kabete constituency took to the streets and blocked the road leading to the governor's home. They claim to have been left behind in development projects.
Sisi hatutaki vita, hatutaki kujua ni nani anatengeneza ama ni gavana ama ni nani. Sisi tunataka barabara kwa sababu tumeteseka kwa miaka mingi.
For the Legends edition, I'm Zainab Said.
Time now for another break, but don't go too far because sports news with legend Topi Liambila is next.
Usiwe mtazamaji pekee, shiriki kwenye Lucky Game na pia wewe unaweza jishindia kama Sheila.
Nimeshinda TV 55 inch. Nimeshinda
na imefika star 570 hash. Chagua Lucky Game. Utapata sanduku 7 zinakungoja mahali pale. Choose one of the boxes ambayo unahisi kwamba iko na bahati yako. Cheza sasa hivi mahali popote wakati wowote. Kumbuka ni star 570 hash. Jishindie.
Shinda pesa moto moto.
1 year in office, 23 ministries. Time to review the journey in implementing the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. What is your assessment of the government's performance? Will they ace the performance test? Tune in to KBC News at 9 p.m. for the government scorecard.
Good evening, and once again, a big welcome to the sports segment of the Legends edition this Saturday evening. I'm Topi Liambila. Now, we start off with the ICT Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo has urged all sports persons to secure their future by investing to ensure they don't struggle after retiring from playing. Owalo, who was speaking after hosting Gor Mahia legends to a luncheon, said that the government will invest heavily in sports and appreciate all sports persons countrywide.
Speaking after hosting Gor Mahia legends to a luncheon here in Nairobi, ICT Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo noted that many players have been struggling after retirement since they didn't invest during their heydays.
You also need to think of how to come up with certain income generating activities, yeah, so that you have got a constant revenue stream. To do that, you need to enhance your brand, and I'm happy that I already reached out to the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation to help you come up with a Gor Mahia Hall of Fame.
Owalo asked all soccer players to unite and form associations that can help them when they retire.
I don't see why, as Gor Mahia fans, we should now sit back and watch you in disgrace in retirement. Yeah? We should do what we can do as Gor Mahia fans, not just to give you a sense of belonging to the Gor Mahia family, but to make sure that you guys in retirement, based on that pride and joy you gave us earlier, continue to lead a decent life.
In today's meeting, the retired Gor Mahia players received 1 million Kenya shillings sponsorship from the Cabinet Secretary.
We have started. Of course, we have prophets of doom. Not all of us will walk with us, but the few who will remain we are determined to get somewhere.
Daniel Mwendwa, Legends Edition.
It's good to see those big boys of the 80s and 90s and also 70s as well. Now, the Kenya national chess team that represented Kenya, the Africa Youth Chess Championships, arrived home today from Cairo, Egypt. And the Kenyan team finished third in the continental event with 2 medals, a gold and a bronze medal. Egypt won the event with 25 medals, 9 gold, 6 silver and 10 bronze, while Botswana was second with 2 medals, 1 gold and a silver.
The Kenyan chess team to the Africa Youth Championship arrived home today from Egypt, where they finished third, having won 1 gold and 1 bronze medals. Nathaniel Manyeki, the reigning under-8 and 9 national champion, won Kenya's only gold medal in the under-8 years category after winning all his 9 matches to earn the candidate's master title.
The kids are coached by the grandmasters, and just getting 2 medals from their home ground is a statement in itself. And that shows that the sport of chess in the country has grown very much, and we are ready to dominate the sport in Africa.
In the under-12 girls category, Elizabeth Kasidi Maina won the other medal, a bronze with a total score of 7 points.
When I started, it was pretty good, but then at the round 6, it started to get harder. I was down upon, but then I managed to win. So it was okay, but the 6th and 7th round was hard.
Mackenzie Chanel also put up a remarkable performance in the event to finish with a score of 5 points, but missed out on a medal in her category. In the under-12 open category, Abel Taji achieved an impressive draw against a rated Egyptian player in the second round and dominated against another rated player from South Africa in the third round. Howie Kaloki was also at his best as he outplayed 2 rated Egyptian players in the 4th and 5th rounds. More than 50 Kenyan players competed in the continental event in Egypt. Egypt won the event with 25 medals, 9 gold, 6 silver and 10 bronze, while Botswana was second with 2 medals, 1 gold and a silver. Faith Akinyi for Legends Edition.
National soccer team Harambee Stars jetted back home from Doha after edging out Qatar 2-1 in an international friendly match played at the Al Janoub Stadium on Thursday. Kenya is using the matches to prepare for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers, which are set to kick off between the 13th and the 21st of November this year.
The game was 4th friendly match for Harambee Stars since World Soccer Governing Body FIFA lifted the international ban on Kenya in November last year. The team, coached by Ejin Firat, will face South Sudan in its second friendly match this month on Tuesday next week here in Nairobi.
Every match has its own story. Importance for me, how the team is developing, how the players react to what we are doing in training, how they adapt. So, like I said, the players are in a good way, they try their best, and we will see what will the future bring.
Kenya is using the matches to prepare for 2026 World Cup qualifiers, which are set to kick off between 13th and 21st November.
Mechi ilikuwa ni nzuri, Wakenya tulicheza poa. Ni game haikuwa rahisi kwa sababu tulikuwa tunacheza ugenini, lakini wachezaji wote walijituma. Experience pia nzuri kwa wale vijana wengine, facility nzuri, uwanja wa World Cup Stadium. So kwa hivyo najihisi vizuri na pia ni pride kwa nchi yangu kuweza kupata matokeo nzuri, especially katika mazingira kama hayo ugenini.
In the qualifiers, Harambee Stars are placed in Group F alongside Burundi, Gabon, Seychelles and Ivory Coast. King Orimwangi for Legends Edition.
Being a great fan of Harambee Stars, yesterday was, Thursday night was like, my greatest day of sporting evening. Now, Thierry Neuville's Acropolis Rally Greece title hopes disintegrated on Saturday afternoon, with the midday leader stopping 11.1 kilometers into the Super Special Stage 10 after hitting a hole and breaking his front right suspension. The incident came a day after a water pump issue dented Otanak's hopes on Acropolis Rally podium after picking up a time penalty in Greece. Some of the action captured. Now back home, Super 8, Premier and Division 1 clubs have been rewarded as part of the 20-year celebration of an extraordinary milestone in grassroots football in Kenya. Melta Kabiria and Githurai All Stars were among the teams rewarded for their exemplary performance in the tournament ahead of the new 2024 season. Let's take a look.
Super 8 Premier League champions Melta Kabiria, runners-up Githurai All-Stars in third place Technical University of Kenya were among teams rewarded for their performance in the football tournament that marked 20 years since inception.
We are hoping that there'll be bigger, greater things in the near future. It's a very exciting period for sports, especially for football. We have the determination to make sure that our young people achieve their dreams, and we will do everything in our power as Extreme Sports to continue supporting communities, to continue supporting our local clubs, and to ensure that our youth reach the optimum.
Leeds United, Deportivo Fongata Rongai and Kisa All-Stars were the second runners-up, were the other teams who were rewarded for taking the top 3 positions in the Division 1 league. The Super 8 tournament has played a key role in the development of game, as well as having success stories, producing some of the country's best footballers of all time.
Ile deni ambayo tutalipa is where we see actual competence transformation, because soccer matters, trust me. Football is such an important sport in this world. Until there is real investment, there's not going to be real output.
What do sponsors want when it comes to sports? And more specifically, what do sponsors want when it comes to football? Governance. Governance is crucial because what it does, it gives confidence to sponsors that the monies that they're putting behind the sports is well spent. We also need to get fans back into stadiums, and we need to broadcast the matches. This offers sponsors immense opportunities to invest in the sport and get a return on their investment.
Among the best Kenyan players who have successfully launched their football careers through the Super 8 tournament include former Harambee Stars captain Victor Wanyama, former Gor Mahia winger Innocent Mutiso, Tuskers Brian Bwire, and AFC duo of KC Odhiambo and Lewis Bandi. Joina Bwile for Legends Edition.
Now, Kenya School of Government girls team and NAS men's team are among today's winners of this year's edition of the Hospitality and Tourism Sports Organization, HOTOSO Games, held at the Parkland Sports Club in Nairobi. The one-day event attracted more than 10 hospitality teams. Some of the action captured today.
The NAS Surveyor football team bagged the overall 7-a-side football trophy after coming from a goal down to register a 2-1 win over JKIAFC. In the ladies category, Kenya School of Government beat Clarion Hotel 3-0 to bag the girls' trophy.
Tuna imekuwa fiti, tumecheza knockout group stage na imekuwa poa, imekuwa inclusive, and we appreciate for the organization of the tournament.
After the COVID, everything went down. The whole world was shut down. Hotels closed down. Even as we're talking today now, many of the hotels have not opened. Now that COVID is behind us, we were saying that we are going to revive the games now that we are coming back to normalcy in the hotel industry, and from there we see the games going forward.
Speaking after the event, Hotoso chairperson Julius Kipkoech urged the government through the Ministry of Sports and Ministry of Tourism to support them.
People who work in the hotel industry, they do the same work from every hotel, and you find most of these people, they move from one hotel to another hotel performing the same functions. So we find that the better way of us to coming together is having sportsmanship within ourselves creates a discipline in the industry.
Sports is for everybody. It doesn't have to be professional sports people like footballers or golfers and so on. Sports is for everybody. Physical exercise is for everybody. It's entertainment for everybody. There are no boundaries when it comes to sports. Men, women, able, disabled, sports is for everybody. So this is really inspiring, and I would encourage everybody to get involved in physical exercise and in sports.
The one-day event attracted more than 10 hospitality teams.
Currently, the CSR, the catering levy is in another department. We would like it through the CS to request that the CSR for the hotel industry be brought back to the hotel industry, and also to engage the sports of the industry in the national sports circuit.
Daniel Mwendwa, Legends Edition.
And now we take a break, and then we come back. There'll be more stories both on the local and international scenes. Thank you for keeping it KBC Legends Edition. Now, the 2019 Africa Games bronze medalist Lilian Kasait won the women's 5,000-meter race in the penultimate Wonder Diamond League meeting of the season in Brussels. Ethiopia's Medina Issa and Japan's Nozomi Tanaka completed the podium dash. Meanwhile, Kenya's Reynold Cheruiyot finished second in the men's 2,000-meter race behind Norway's Jakob Ingebrigtsen, who set a new world record. Some of the action gotten from the league.
He's ahead of the lights, into the home straight, everybody on their feet.
Norway's Jakob Ingebrigtsen broke the 2,000 meters world record set in Berlin in 1999 by Morocco's Hisham El Gerouja.
The world record, 4:44.79 is the target. He's done it. It's a world record.
Ingebrigtsen set a new mark of 4 minutes, 43.13 seconds, relegating Kenya's Reynold Cheruiyot to second position. Australia's Stewart McSwain finished third after clocking 4 minutes, 48.77 seconds.
There you go, he says. I'm back. Never write me off. Ingebrigtsen is back with a bang in Brussels. Jackson is away. Jackson against the clock. Let's keep an eye on it. Lights out.
World 200 meters champion Sherika Jackson set a new Diamond League record of 21.48 seconds, while Antonique Strachman of Bahamas and Jenna Prandini of United States settled for second and third positions, respectively.
Oh, she's just outside. 21.48. It's the fourth fastest time.
And now for some sad news. President William Ruto has sent a message of condolence to the family and friends of veteran sports journalist Sean Kadovilis, who was found dead this morning outside his house along Raptor Road in Westlands, Nairobi. In a tweet condolence message, President Ruto described Sean as a brilliantly gifted journalist who was blessed with an upbeat personality to boot. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, in his condolence message, said the priest's prowess would be missed in the sports media industry. Cardovillis was admitted to a city hospital last year after being diagnosed with pneumonia. An autopsy is planned to establish the real cause of death. He worked with the several media houses, including KTN and Capital FM, where he worked till his demise. I briefly worked with Sean Cardovillis, as a great young man at KTN, and may the good Lord rest his soul in peace. Now, Namibia began their Rugby World Cup campaign on a wrong footing after losing 50-8 to Italy at the Stade Geoffroy Guichard in Saint-Etienne, France. Namibia hope to perform better when they face host France on Friday next week, while Italy will meet Uruguay in the second game of the global event. Some of the action from the action.
Ellen heads 3 for Italy. They're on the board and we're all square.
Italy's first half tries, scored by Lorenzo Cannon and Paolo Gabisi, came while African representative Namibia were down to 14 men.
Reach towards the sideline and get their first try on Rugby World Cup 2023.
Gaswin Mouton reduced the African nation deficit to 9 points.
Try Namibia! Yes! Second half to extend their advantage.
But Italy strode clear against Namibians after halftime as Dino Lamb, Angel Capuzzo, Hame Faiza, Manuel Zulian and Paulo Odogu all crossed.
Turn on a show in the final moments.
Italy are ever present at Rugby World Cups but have not reached knockout phase in 9 previous appearances. The African side only scores of the 2019 tournament were also against Italy, where they lost 47-22. Italy coach Kieran Crowley will expect vast improvement in performance when they meet Uruguay on 20th September, while Namibia will play All Blacks in Toulouse on Friday next week.
Apart from, of course, being a motor rally commentator, Sean was also a great rugby sports commentator. You remember him. Now, on the international scene, reigning champion Carlos Alcaraz lost 3-1 to Dani Medvedev, who will play Novak Djokovic in tomorrow's US Open final. Medvedev defeated Alcaraz in sets of 7-6, 6-1, 3-6, 6-3 in New York to book a date with Djokovic, who defeated American Ben Shelton in 3 straight sets of 6-3, 6-2, 7-6. Some of the action here.
Carlos Alcaraz had his reign as US Open champion ended by Daniil Medvedev as the Russian set up another New York final against Novak Djokovic. The Spanish top seed lost 7-6, 6-1, 3-6, 6-3 to Medvedev. Medvedev regained his composure in a tense finish to serve out victory, taking a 4th match point to win a captivating contest.
He's got it.
Meanwhile, Novak Djokovic beat American Ben Shelton 6-3, 6-2, 7-6 to move within one more win of a record equaling 24th major title.
And Brian told me, well, he got this new string.
A sign of Djokovic's greatness has been his ability to dominate much younger opponents on the biggest stages over recent years, losing only 8 of the 53 matches he has played against opponents under the age of 23.
The football on the European circuit. Portugal topped Group J of the Euro 2024 qualification after defeating Slovakia 1-0, while Scotland enjoyed victory after thrashing Cyprus 3-0. Meanwhile, in the CONMEBOL qualification, Brazil demolished Bolivia 5-1 in an entertaining match played at the Estadio Jornalista Edgar in Brazil.
Well, in the CONMEBOL qualification, Brazil trounced Bolivia 5-1, with Neymar surpassing the late great Pele as the country's top scorer with 79 goals. Brace from both Rodrigo and Neymar and Rafinha helped Samba Boys cruise past Bolivia, who got their only goal from Victor Abrego. Elsewhere, Uruguay defeated Chile in a 3-1 entertaining match to top the table joint with Brazil.
It's always great to watch the Samba Boys. 5-1 Bolivia, that's great. But of course,
yes,
great sporting stories, great news stories. But what a dull day.
You know, when you watch them play, it's like music, as it were. But again, a sad day for the media industry today.
Yeah. Sean Kadovilis, great sports commentator.
And Kibwana Nguso, someone we worked with.
And just about 2 weeks ago, we were with them. We were with him during the Legends.
The get together.
The get together at Fresh Ranch.
Yes.
And yeah, you see, that's why you see life is quite a challenge, isn't it? I mean, like, it's quite dicey, and we pray for the legends that have gone before us, and also those that, you know, let's take a day at the time. And I think always you must be grateful to the Almighty.
Indeed.
For bringing you there.
Every day we thank the Lord.
The Lord.
Well, you've made it our day because you chose to tune in to the Legends edition, and we're privileged to have you with us.
And of course, it's been a pleasure. The many messages of condolence, which cannot be able to read. But of course, I mean, I enjoyed being with you, and we hope that, you know, you'll be with us again next Saturday for another bumper harvest on the sporting scene. I'm Topi Liambila.
And Topi, I can see you got your dancing shoes. What's coming next?
Oh, Rumba Bridge over Congo. How could I forget? Anyway, with such a sad day, of course, there's a possibility that you can forget. But anyway, for those fans of Rumba Bridge over Congo, coming soon after this, Mfumo and Marie Jose.
Like we say, jina langu ni Mudibo. Kwaheri. Good night. See you next week.
I'm Topi Liambila.
The future is hands-on, and Sensei College is at the front line of technical institutes in Kenya, offering practical and skill-based courses accredited by all concerned bodies, TVETA, NTSA and NITA. Sensei College offers driving and plant operator, cosmetology, fashion and design, mechanics, hydroponics and irrigation, installation, building construction, hospitality, photography and video production, electrical and electronics repairs, and ICT courses. Get free plant operator training when you enroll for plant mechanics, free driving when you enroll for motor vehicle mechanics, and free riding when you enroll for motorcycle mechanics. The requirement is an ID only, with intakes every first week of the month. We have 2 campuses in Nakuru and Nairobi. We provide meals and accommodation. Sensei College. My skills, my future.
In the name of Jesus Christ, Mungu anatara